In this video, we will go through each key step to explain what you're required to do when employing children. The first step when employing children is that at least 7 days before employing them, you need to tell us your plans and how you propose to manage any risks. You don't need to have already cast or confirmed children at the time you give us your notice. However, the more complex your production, the more notice you should give. You can give us your 7 days notice by completing our online notification form. To complete the form, you'll need to know approximately the first day you're likely to employ children, how many children and their age ranges, working hours and number of days, role requirements, what will children say, see, hear and do, location risks and action risks such as stunts and special effects, whether there are any adult themes, your plans to manage any identified risks.
The second step is gaining an authority to employ children. An authority to employ children in New South Wales is like a licence. It authorises your company or organisation to employ any number of children for a specific period of time. The duration of your authority will cover all employment of children during that time. You can get a 1-week authority to cover one-off or short-term productions, or 3 or 6 month authorities to cover longer ones. If you regularly employ children, you may want to apply for a 12-month authority. An application fee is required for most types of authorities, and they vary according to the duration and type of authority needed. Reduced fees are available to employers who are producing still photography only. There are no fees for student employers. Your authority application needs to be signed by a director of the company. This person should be able to influence the company's ability to comply with its legal obligations when employing children. Exemptions from the application fee are available to charitable organisations and in circumstances where a child over 10 years is employed for under 10 hours a week outside of school hours. If you employ a child without holding a current authority to employ children, you can be issued with a penalty notice for up to $5,500 per child.
Step 3. As an employer of children, you have a responsibility to create a safe and enjoyable working environment. You must develop a code of conduct which sets out clear expectations for appropriate behaviour and guidelines for the care of children. You will need to distribute it to every employee and parent on set. The regulation does not require the code of conduct to be signed by everyone, but some employers have it signed as best practice. A template is available on our website. The child supervisor must be able to see them at all times. The best person to supervise a child is their own parent. If a parent asks anyone to supervise their child, they must give that person permission in writing. This includes grandparents or other relatives. If you employ someone to look after the children, they must have a Working with Children check and have training and experience in the care of children. You must confirm the check number they give you is valid by verifying them on the Working with Children check section of the OCG website. One way you can keep children safe is by identifying risks from their perspective. What you might not normally see as a risk to an adult cast and crew may be a risk to children. You will need to have risk management strategies that address safety such as stunts, special effects, outdoor locations, weather and weapons, adult content and themes, long work hours or employment at night, long-term employment, large numbers of children or cast members. You can employ children for a restricted number of hours per day during certain times of the day and for a limited number of days per week. Hours of work vary according to the age of the child and the type of work. There are further limitations to accommodate the child's schooling and travel requirements. There is a minimum requirement that children must have a 1-hour rest break every 4 hours.
The fourth step is record keeping. When you've confirmed the children cast for the production, you will need to complete a child details form and send it to us 48 hours before any children are required to start work. This includes rehearsals. Follow up with a call sheet or confirm any changes before the child starts work. Have a sign-in and out sheet or another method of accurately recording start, finish and break times for each child. Distribute a code of conduct to all employees and parents who will have contact with children. You'll need to be able to show that you have done this before children have started work. You can send a copy to everyone by email, include it in your call sheet, or have copies ready to hand out on set at induction. Keep a record of the child's supervisor details. If the supervisor is employed by you, keep a record of their Working with Children check and your verification. If the child's parent has asked a relative or friend to supervise the child, you must have a record of the parent's authorisation in writing. This can be via a text message or email, or you can use the parent nominee authorisation form available on our website. Develop or download an incident reporting register. A template is available on our website. You must make a record of any incident or complaint involving a child during their employment in the register. You'll also need to send a copy to the Office of the Children's Guardian within 72 hours of when you became aware of the incident or complaint.
Step 5. Step 5 concerns school-aged children. If you're filming with a child during school hours, you need to make sure that the child has written permission from their school principal for their absence. The decision to grant or deny approval is at the school's discretion. You can't employ a child if they don't have approval to be absent from school. If a child either attends school or receives tuition or homeschooling, you are limited to employing them for up to 4 hours on the same day. Children can be employed only until 9 p.m. if they'll be attending or receiving schooling the following day. Children must not have a combined total of more than 50 hours of school and work in 1 week.
The sixth and final step concerns the employment of children under the age of 3. If you employ a child under 3, you need to have a registered nurse or registered midwife present during the employment. The nurse is there to advise you of the child's suitability for employment and advise that the working environment is safe and not likely to cause the child to become distressed. You must follow the advice of the nurse in all matters relating to the welfare of the child. Special approval must be given to employ a baby under 12 weeks of age. You will need to send us a variation application and a report completed by a registered nurse or registered midwife who has assessed the baby for employment.
We're happy to take your inquiries. Phone us or email kidsemployment@ocg.nsw.gov.au.